The contract is the primary focus of your job after you get your license, and it is heavily weighted on the test. Contract issues are heavily weighted. So let's start by reminding you the definitions important when we talk about contract. First, remind you of the definition of the word contract. A contract is a voluntary, legally binding, and enforceable agreement between parties to do something or not to do something specific. The issue in contracts is not the number of parties. The issue is the number of promises being made. Contracts are all about promises. Now, we can have an express contract, which may be oral or written. As long as it's expressed, it is an express contract. Or we can have an implied contract, which is not in writing, and it exists when the agreement between the parties is demonstrated by their actions or their conduct. Nobody said anything to anybody. They just demonstrated that they wanted to be under contract by their actions. A bilateral contract is a promise exchanged for another promise. It exists when both parties make promises. A unilateral contract is a promise exchanged for performance. A unilateral contract exists when only one party makes a promise, often in an attempt to induce a second party to do something, but the second party is not legally obligated to act. There are two types of unilateral contracts that you'll be tested on. The first is an option contract. An option contract is a unilateral contract, and we'll discuss options later. And the other type of unilateral contract you might be tested on is the open listing. And that we discussed previously, but just remember that an open listing is a unilateral contract. Only one party is promising something. A contract is executed when all parties have fulfilled all the promises they made. An executed contract is a contract that has been fully performed. An executory contract exists when one or both parties still have an act or promise to fulfill. It's a contract that's in the works. It's not yet done, but it's started. A real estate sales contract that has been accepted is an executory contract until it closes escrow. Once closed, the sale contract has been executed or fully performed.